David was the king of Israel. As king, David's responsibilities included leading the army. One spring, David sent out the army and he put another man in charge of them. David stayed in Jerusalem. One evening, David looked out from the roof of his palace and saw a beautiful woman named Bathsheba. Bathsheba was the wife of Uriah, one of the best warriors in David's army. David sent his messengers to get Bathsheba, and she came to David's house. Later, Bathsheba told David that she was going to have a baby. The baby would be David's. David knew what he had done was wrong. David should not have a baby with someone who was not his wife. So David made a plan to make sure no one found out that Bathsheba's baby was his. David called Uriah home from the battle and told him to go spend time with his wife. But Uriah didn't think it was fair for him to relax at home while the other men were at war. He slept on David's doorstep and refused to see his wife. David's plan was not working, so he made up another plan. This time, he instructed Joab, who was leading the army, to send Uriah into the hardest part of the battle so he would be killed. So Joab sent Uriah to the most dangerous part of the battle, and Uriah was killed. David took Bathsheba into his house to be his wife, and she had a baby boy. God knew what David had done, and he was not happy with David. God sent Nathan the prophet to talk to David. Nathan told David a story about a rich man who had many animals. Whenever a traveler came, the rich man did not offer his own animal. Instead, he took a poor man's lamb, the only lamb he had, and gave it to the traveler to eat. David was angry. The rich man should die, he said. You are the man, Nathan said. God had given David a position of great power, but David killed Uriah to take his wife. David realized he had sinned against God. David deserved to die. You won't die for this, Nathan assured David. But God will punish you. Your son will die instead. David confessed his sin and prayed, God, create a clean heart for me. David realized he could try to please God with sacrifices, but that wouldn't be enough to pay for his sin. God wanted David's heart to change so that he would not want to sin again. When David sinned against God, God forgave him. But sin always comes with a price. God spared David's life, but David's son died. When we sin, we can receive God's forgiveness because God sent his son Jesus to pay the price for our sin. Jesus died the death we deserve so that we could be made right with God.